During the dawn of the so-called golden age of television, where TV began to eclipse mainstream filmmaking in regularly producing feature-quality entertainment, a Russian-American animation director was quietly kicking ass and taking names. For a period of 4 years, from 2001 to 2005, Genndy Tartakovsky and his brilliant crew of animators and storyboarders produced some of the best action filmmaking seen on television, not only at the time, but ever since, with only HBO shows and Avatar: The Last Airbender able to compare. Created by Genndy Tartakovsky, Samurai Jack tells the story of a samurai warrior teleported out of space and time, to a place where the demon Aku, who destroyed his village, now rules the world. Jack must find a way to defeat the demon Aku and return home to his past. Whereas Star Wars Clone Wars served as a bridge between Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And as you can tell from watching this brief clip, it demonstrates everything about action filmmaking Tartakovsky and his team so clearly excel at. The choreography, the timing, and the sheer ferocity of it. Attack! So let's break this down, everybody. From the word go, Samurai Jack starts off with a wordless 2-minute sequence establishing the show's villain. In this sequence alone, it establishes all of its storytelling staples. Its minimized dialogue, its woodcut-like designs, its striking color palettes, its strong emphasis on precise sound design dictating its scenes, and its frequent multi-panel comic book-style compositions. Throughout the show's 4-year run, every single one of the show's 50 episodes featured these trademarks, and it never failed to turn what should have been fairly run-of-the-mill kids' television into some thoroughly riveting filmmaking through the sheer creativity and mastery of craft put on display by Genndy and company. Take note of how clearly this fight scene is composed, and how unique every beat is in this fight, as no pose is repeated twice. These are traits Clone Wars also shares, as well as every action movie or action scene that you love. This is what makes it memorable and exciting. Genndy's direction is all about communicating things as quickly as possible with as little elements as possible.
The show is a lot about feel, gesture, trying to get things across with just visual components, and it seemed very epic, it seemed very cinematic.
And it's this decision to make the show feel cinematic that makes it stand out from its peers.
We really let the visuals kind of breathe and speak for themselves.
As it raised the bar for the work that needed to be done.
And I also looked at a lot of these 70s cinema, more avant-garde stuff. Looked at, Andromeda Strain, The Longest Yard, a lot of these movies that had a lot of split screen, and I thought it was a really good visual language.
It's been through careful study and application of these techniques that Tartakovsky's work has excelled, whereas others have simply paid homage to their references. For any show or film to feature an episode with little to no dialogue takes a massive feat of craft to pull off. For an all-ages action cartoon to do it right out the gate and feature dozens of episodes with almost no dialogue means Tartakovsky and crew have really done their homework. One of the show's most acclaimed episodes is when Jack encounters a tower, guarded by 3 blind and mousy archers. At the top of the tower is a well that grants any wish. Jack decides to capture and use the well, hoping it will send him home. Starting with the scenes and sounds of a serene forest, overtaken by the mechanic march-ins of a robot army. The sound design and score are playing brilliant co-authors, carving the two opposing forces in half. As the army marches, close-ups on repeating shapes, and clever use of the army's distance, both close to and away from the camera, emphasize scale with dynamic direction. Not only is the army big, but it continues to surprise you by getting bigger. By pushing in and then moving out, size is amplified. In this 7-minute sequence, only one word is spoken at its halfway mark.
Charge!
And with that horn, all of the techniques we've seen before become multiplied, as fast cutting matches the momentum of the battle. Chaos and arrows rain down, as every specific shot of mayhem continues to carry a unique take on the same action. It's this precision filmmaking Tartakovsky applies to the Clone Wars as well, taking his and his team's ability to choreograph action scenes, as well as his talent for controlling spatial relationships between characters, to the next level. Whether it's incorporating the speeding train into the composition of a shot to elevate its energy, or changing the pace of the scene's editing to maintain clarity while enhancing the drama further, by taking advantage of dread and anticipation.
So what I decided to do is to do things very slow, still with a good instinct to have it be, compelling and you're not bored. And then when things go fast, it goes crazy.
Another method Tartakovsky uses is his manipulation of space and time in adherence to a specific action beat, or to put it another way, a deliberate breaking of continuity, masked by timing and composition to enhance the speed of an action, according to the scene's needs, but only slightly and never enough to distract. And when he does it at his best, well, just watch this.
Samurai Jack was about the mood and the magic of it. So that's something you don't really see in television animation.
As you've noticed, sound design plays a massive role in all of this, particularly in setting mood, whether it's for the punctuation of violence or the isolation of ambience. It can pinpoint attention, even through limitations. Here's Genndy.
I'm a huge fan of sound effects. And just to do, really break down the sequence so it's not sound effects and music and dialogue all going through. I really like to select, okay, this action sequence is going to be all sound effects. This sequence is going to be all music with very low sound effects. And especially because in television you don't get the dynamics that you do in theater, it cleans it up a bit, so the mix sounds a little nicer and crisper.
I leave you now with my favorite sequence of Tartakovsky's, and Tartakovsky's commentary on his own direction.
And here we spent a lot of time kind of designing how his footsteps would sound, so it sounds kind of real creepy and dangerous, but you just don't see anything. It's almost very kind of Hitchcockian, to where the less you show, the more you see kind of philosophy, or less is more.
It's close, but where? It's all around us.
Calm yourself. Steady. Steady.
No!
There is so much more I could say about Genndy Tartakovsky's action direction. It is not going to be near as enough as what you'll learn if you simply watch his work. So go seek out Star Wars Clone Wars and Samurai Jack, because at the very least, you'll have a great time. Next time, economy and filmmaking with the films of John Carpenter. And if you like funny and entertaining stories from art and entertainment history, check out my podcast, Reloading with Werner, on iTunes and SoundCloud.